Good evening. You are watching the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. First, the headlines. The National Innovation Strategy of the Sultanate focuses on achieving an economy based on innovation. The Ministry of Higher Education reviews with the representatives of the private higher education institutions the challenges facing scholarships abroad and the Omanisation percentage. The total value of commercial bank deposits in the Sultanate exceeds 12.4 billion Omani riyals. And the Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries Wealth signs an agreement for establishing a modern fish market in the Walaya of Sea. Those were the headlines. Now the news in detail. The Research Council discussed a number of topics related to the National Innovation Strategy of the Sultanate. It also pointed out that the Sultanate in the last 3 years advanced by 21 points in the international sorting of innovation. The national strategy aims to fulfill the aspirations of sustainable social and economic development. The role of the media is to focus on the strategy from all directions and produce films that will contribute in acquainting the world about the Sultanate. It is also worth mentioning that the Sultanate aims to be among the leading 20 countries in terms of innovation by the year 2040. The country's innovation vision can be achieved through giving attention to the education system, research abilities, efficient manpower, enhancing foreign investment and private sector institutions. The annual meeting of the Ministry of Higher Education with the representatives of private higher education institutions discussed the challenges facing scholarships abroad and the Omanisation percentage in those institutions. The meeting also shed light on developments in the educational field and issues related to future strategies. The participants were also acquainted with the latest updates in the project of e-linking higher education institutions, in addition to reviewing the results of academic accreditation. The meeting is expected to come out with a number of recommendations related to finding solutions for the challenges facing higher education institutions, raising the quality of education, as well as providing new majors in colleges and universities. His Excellency General Sultan bin Mohammed Al Numani, Minister of the Royal Office, received in his office today Lieutenant General John Lorimer, Senior British Defence Advisor for the Middle East, within the framework of his current visit to the Sultanate. At the beginning of the meeting, His Excellency the Minister of the Royal Office welcomed the guests, who expressed his delight to visit the Sultanate. The meeting exchanged cordial conversations and discussed a number of topics of concern to the two friendly countries. The meeting also reviewed the march of good bilateral relations, binding the Sultanate and the friendly United Kingdom to serve joint interests, besides touching on several issues of common concern. His Excellency Syed Bahadur bin Saud bin Harab Abu Saidi, Minister responsible for Defence Affairs, received in his office at Muaskar al-Matafa today Lieutenant General John Lorimer, Senior British Defence Advisor for the Middle East, and his accompanying delegation currently visiting the Sultanate. The meeting also reviewed the strong relations between the two friendly countries and discussed fields of cooperation between the defence ministries in the two countries and means of promoting them. The meeting also exchanged viewpoints on matters of common concern. A blockchain seminar related to techniques that change systems, bank and financial samples and commercial exchanges will start tomorrow in Muscat. This came in a press conference which explained that the expected profits of applying these techniques will develop the bank systems and business in the Sultanate through updating the application of the main government services, which will enhance the competitiveness. Experts of the digital blockchain participated in the seminar. The total value of commercial bank deposits in the Sultanate exceeded 12 billion 400 million Omani riyals, with an increase of 3.7%. The Central Bank of Oman mentioned that the percentage of foreign currency deposits reached 12%, while the percentage of foreign currency loans reached 13%. Saving deposits represented the biggest percentage, which reached 4,500,000,000 Omani riyals. In order to strengthen the Sultanate's growing role in the field of air transport, Oman Airports Management Company will host the 9th Annual Airports Exchange Forum and Exhibition from 5th to the 7th of December 2017. The event, which witnesses the participation of more than 500 professionals from various international airports and related industries, will discuss the latest developments in the aviation sector and airport management. The event will also discuss regional, international and security challenges facing this sector, in addition to future vision. The 3-day event will be held at the new Oman Convention and Exhibition Centre. It will include exhibitions and conference sessions, along with 4 specialist workshops to highlight the latest trends in the areas of airport security and crisis management, along with airport operations. It will also discuss the role of technology in simplifying travel procedures to create a more passenger-friendly environment. Still to come in our news bulletin. The Bronze Age towers at Bat, book by the Ministry of Heritage and Culture, sheds light on the archaeological sites in Bat area that date back to 3000 BC. Welcome back to the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. Pro-Syria government military media released a video today showing the extent of the devastation and destruction in Deir al-Zor in eastern Syria. Thousands of homes and apartments have been damaged, the old souk has been looted and destroyed, and many ancient landmarks have been reduced to rubble. Deir al-Zor is the largest and most important city in eastern Syria, as it is considered the centre of the country's oil production. On Friday, the Syrian military announced the capture of Deir al-Zor, a largely symbolic victory in the military's bigger fight to capture the last remaining Daesh Group strongholds in the oil-rich province along the border with Iraq. Brussels prosecutors said today that ousted Catalan President Carlos Puigdemont and 4 regional ex-ministers were taken into custody to start the process of their possible extradition to Spain. The 5 presented themselves to federal police this morning. The prosecutor said that they have not been arrested and that Puigdemont and the 4 members of his disbanded cabinet will be heard by an investigative judge later in the day. The Belgian judge will have to decide within 24 hours what comes next for the 5 separatist politicians wanted in Spain on suspicion of rebellion for pushing through a declaration of independence for northeastern Catalonia in violation of Spain's constitution. Puigdemont and the 4 ex-ministers fled to Belgium last week after being removed from power by Spanish authorities as part of an extraordinary crackdown to quash the region's illegal secession claim. At least 27 people have been killed and 22 others are missing after a powerful typhoon battered Vietnam. The typhoon left extensive damage along the south-central coast. The missing include 17 crew members of cargo ships that were sunk off the coast of the central province of Binh Dinh. The Vietnam Disaster Management Authority said 74 other crew members were rescued earlier. More than 600 houses have been destroyed and nearly 40,000 others damaged as Typhoon Damri caused widespread blackouts across the region. The typhoon, the second to hit Vietnam in a month, also caused extensive damage to the region's rice fields and other crops, while 228 fishing boats were sunk or damaged. Residents on Scotland's Isle of Ulva are hoping to be able to buy their island home. The 5 residents need to raise around £4 million and have already taken advantage of a law that has allowed the sale to be put on hold while they raise funds. More details in the following report.
There are dark clouds on the horizon for Rebecca Monroe. One of just 5 residents on the Scottish Isle of Ulva, she fears her island home will be sold to a foreign buyer. After decades of ownership by an aristocratic family, remote and spectacular Ulva is now on the market for around £4 million. But its residents hope to raise enough money to buy it themselves.
The community buyout offers us some, definite security that we don't have at the moment. It offers people who live here a say in their future, and I think when you offer people a stake in where they live, it encourages them to contribute to their community, to stay in the area and to create a future for themselves here that they probably wouldn't do under private ownership.
It's something that has been done before. 20 years ago, the nearby island of Egg was bought by its residents with the help of an anonymous benefactor. Today, Egg has a thriving population, its own renewable energy grid and good links to the mainland.
What's happened on Egg is that slowly, people have got that security. A lot of our young people have come back to live here actually, started to have kids of their own. So it's a real kind of vibrant feeling, and I think, that's happened because we bought Egg.
But for Ulva's residents, the future is uncertain. A new law introduced last year has allowed residents to suspend the sale to give them time to get the money together. With just 7 months to go, they're pinning their hopes on government funds or generous private donors to help them do it.
Back to some more local news. The Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries Wealth signed today an agreement worth 1.7 million Omani Rials with the Arab Supplies and Contracting Company for establishing a modern fish market at the sea fishing port in the Walayat of Seeb. The project will be built on an area of 7,040 square metres. The new market is one of the utilities of the fishing port intended to serve the fishermen in the Walaya and its adjacent walayas. It will include 12 retail selling outlets, an ice factory, 64 display tables and 37 fish cutting tables, in addition to a coffee shop, restaurant and other utilities. Works of evaluating the factories participating in the Sultan Qaboos Industrial Excellence Award started today. The number of participating factories and institutions in the award reached 20 various industrial institutions from different governorates of the Sultanate. The award aims to develop the performance of industrial operations in the upcoming period. More than 70 technicians and programmers form 20 competitive teams in order to design and create smart solutions for the city of Matra. The competition, entitled Hackathon Matra, is meant for creating smart solutions to improve the city of Matra and at the same time keep its historical features. The event was presided over by His Highness Syed Taimur bin Asad bin Tariq Al Said. The importance of the competition stems from the strategic location and commercial value of the city of Matra, which is famous for its prominent fort, ancient souk and seaport. The event attracts Omani innovators, programmers and intellectuals and acquaints them with the limited facilities of any city in Oman in order to come up with suitable solutions. The limited facilities in the city of Matra are concerned with the transportation system, tourism, trade and history. The participants in this competition will try to come up with smartphone applications which provide tourists with the necessary information about the city of Matra in general, such as touristic landmarks, the types of products in the souk, bus stops and other useful topics. With the aim to qualify and develop the abilities of doctors in using ultrasound for motherhood care, the Ministry of Health organised a training course on this field. The 5-day course also aimed to keep up with the latest techniques in using ultrasound. During the event, a sonar-raised device for diagnosing fetal diseases was launched. 30 medical specialists in this field participated in the course. The Bronze Age Towers at Bat is one of the scientific publications by the Ministry of Heritage and Culture that sheds light on the archaeological sites in the Bat area that date back to 3000 BC. The book was published after a group of American archaeologists, in cooperation with the ministry, conducted scientific studies and field research for 6 years. The pages of the book will shed light on the main sites in the area, including ancient tombs, towers and other structures. Now for the general weather forecast around the Sultanate. Clear to partly cloudy skies will prevail over the Governorate of Dhofar, with chances of scattered rain over the coastal areas. Rest of the Sultanate will have clear skies with chances of low clouds and fog late at night and early morning over the governorates of South Sharqiya and Worcester. Winds will be northeasterly, light to moderate. Seas will be slight with a maximum wave height of 1 metre. This is the Sultanate of Oman television. Before we end tonight's bulletin, here are the main points once again. The National Innovation Strategy of the Sultanate focuses on achieving an economy based on innovation. The Ministry of Higher Education reviews with the representatives of the private higher education institutions the challenges facing scholarships abroad and the Omanisation percentage. The total value of commercial bank deposits in the Sultanate exceeds 12.4 billion Omani riyals. And the Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries Wealth signs an agreement for establishing a modern fish market in the Walaya of Sib. With that, we come to the end of tonight's news bulletin. From all of us here at the newsroom and the studios, it's good night.